Look, we were just talking there in that package about the mastermind. What more do we know about this individual?
You know, we know actually that he's really known amongst jihadis since a while. He was very present on social media since 2013. I got myself to work on some footage that was stolen by some Syrian rebels from his phone at the time. France 24 didn't accept to broadcast those images because they were too violent. We see him dragging corpses behind his
This
pickup.
is what people have been talking about.
Exactly.
This
It was broadcasted by another French media, so we didn't at the time. But what I can say is he's really known. And in 2014, he was given dead. People thought he was dead, but in the meantime, he managed to leave Syria, to get back to Belgium, and to get stopped by the police there, and then he got released and went back to Syria. So this is a bit confusing.
That's an extraordinary story,
Yes.
given the fact that all these intelligence authorities have been closely watching and monitoring supposedly the movement
Yes,
of these
of
people.
course.
How did he manage to do that?
I guess that with a fake passport. And we see that today on the one of the blasts at the Stadium of Paris, we have a Syrian passport, probably a fake one, or with the change photo on it. So people can cross borders, especially today in Europe, with fake IDs. So that's what he did, and he created a kind of cell with many people in the town of Verviers in Belgium. And they confronted the police. There were many dead last January. And we know that he has links also with the person who attacked the Thalys, the train between Amsterdam and Paris, the failed attack. We know that he had links also with one student here in Paris who tried to attack a church in Villejuif. And a French jihadist citizen, got arrested also last August. And while he was interrogated by the police, he spoke about him. And he told the police that he thinks that plans were made to hit against the cafes and nightclubs here in Paris. So he's very well known, and he didn't hide his being in the ranks of the Islamic State. But I wouldn't say he's the mastermind. I would say he's the operational commander, because a strategic decision like this to hit in France, it's not jihadi from Belgium or from France even that he's going to take on his behalf. It would have come up
from very high
exactly.
up.
And he's on the operational level because he knows his town, he knows his country, he knows Belgium, he might know France also, and he has the links, enough links.
And he's got the language.
Exactly, the language and the links with the criminal activities, people into criminal activities to give him arms and explosives. So this is why he was behind this. But the decision was taken, of course, on a higher level.
Why is Belgium such the hotbed of jihadist activity?
Because it's a fact today that Belgium has the highest ratio of fighters in the ranks of the jihadi groups, depending on the population. France has many jihadis too, but depending on the number of on the population, they have the highest ratio. And the Belgium is got people from Belgium involved on jihadi theaters since the days of Bosnia and Chechnya, and we have that. Also, that in Belgium, trafficking arms is something very, very anchored in the society from arms from Eastern Europe.
I was hearing also the problem with Belgium is that you've got conflicting government authorities. You've got the Flemish authorities as well as the French-speaking authorities, and as a result, there's this sort of vacuum that occurs, particularly in Brussels.
Maybe, but we should know that also that yes, it could be true. But anyways, intelligence services in one same country have the hardest time to communicate between each other. Remember 9/11. We know today that it was a lack of communication between different intelligence services in the States, and this is the reality here in France too, and it's the reality in Europe. There's no real coordination. Maybe now it could happen, but people have a lack of coordination on this level for many, many reasons.
Finally, Wassim, just one question that a lot of people are still asking. Why did those suicide bombers blow themselves up outside the stadium?
I guess that it's a kind of diversion for them, because once an operation like this is launched with 3 crews at least, they cannot speak to each other once the operation is launched. So I guess that those bombers on the stadium had a specific time to blow their belts, either inside or outside, to give the time for the other crews to hit inside Paris. And we know that they had long minutes to act on different spots, because all the police forces, or most of the police forces, were attracted by what's happening in the stadium, knowing also that the French president was present on spot. So this is to be taken into consideration. This is no amateur work. It was really professional, really planned. It's the first time that we have suicide bombers in Paris, 8. It doesn't happen in Baghdad even today. And it's the first time that the Islamic State hits the heart of Europe and the heart of Paris, of France. So we are one step beyond in this conflict.